Hello everybody, this is Katy Caulfield, just continuing the video series of Quantum Freedom, Divine Embodiment. And we are now moving on to the second chapter of this book, which is called The Body in Balance. Okay, this is a huge deal and a huge part of spirituality. Unfortunately, there are various unconscious New Age beliefs going on throughout the airwaves that, the body is not necessary or important to spiritual growth, but that could not be any farther from the truth. The body is actually instrumental in it. It's the vehicle that we are in and that we've chosen to express our spirituality, to express our truth through. And so if the body is not attended to and not taken care of in the highest way, our ability to be spiritual, to transcend, will be impaired. So with that being said, the second chapter of this book really hones in on keeping the body balanced in a variety of different ways. There are many different methods, ways to do this, okay? We have to care for the body's needs and balance these needs with the needs of our spirit and mind so that we're more able to function effectively in the world. And there's a balancing act that takes place on various levels, and I will go into those now for you. The first one is polarity balance. Okay, so this will apply both energetically and physically, but physically speaking, you've heard of the yin yang, right? So there's the masculine principle, which is the yang, active, aggressive, not aggressive, but light, doing, very spirit and action oriented. And the yang, and then there's the yin, and that is feminine, it's quiet, it's passive, it's reflective, it's everything associated with female and the moon instead of masculine and the sun, okay? All of these are within all of us equally, and no matter if you are born in a male body or a female body, you carry the yin and the yang within you. And so it's very important to be conscious of balancing these energies within you. And in the book, it talks about, you might not get a perfect 50-50 balance. That's probably highly unlikely for most people, but you can get close, and you can get to let's say a comfortable ratio, a ratio that's comfortable for you. So that could change with time, or you could just find a relatively stable balance between doing and being, basically, and these two sides of our nature. It's definitely true that people are predisposed to one or the other. You could be in a man body but be very yin being, very passive, or vice versa. But to just be aware of that and create space for the doing and the being is important in our body's overall balance and how healthy it is. So again, we do and create to mitigate the risks of stagnation, or staying in place, staying in a rut that's too passive, and we be and we reflect so that we can store up this energy and this information to become active again and not overexert ourselves. So again, there's a balance. The second balance would be the Holy Trinity balance, and this is between the mind, the body, and the spirit. And again, it does go back to the body, because the body will not be perfectly in balance unless the needs of the mind and the spirit are attended to. And that's really important. There's like a feedback loop between the three. And it takes some time, takes some practice to be aware of making sure all three of those needs are met. And they're kind of like, I just picture it's like a rhythm between them. So none of them are dominating. They're all kind of referring to each other in equality, Holy Trinity. The third way to balance our bodies is through the elements. And I love this because, as you will find out, I am a huge proponent of astrology. And that is, most of my work revolves around astrology, but the elements, fire, water, air, earth, and then there's actually a fifth that people don't know about. It's light. And light is pure spirit, pure love, okay? And this takes some time too. It takes a lot of awareness to be able to balance the fiery elements of ourselves, the earthy elements, the watery elements, the emotional, and the air, which is the mental realm. And so, and light, of course, kind of ties all of it together and balances the four in the middle. So we'll go more into that, but this is just an overview again. And the fourth method of balancing that I talk about in this book is chakra balancing. So I'm sure many of you know about the chakras, and we have 7 chakras. So in the book, it goes through each chakra: first chakra, second chakra, third chakra, fourth chakra, fifth chakra, 6th chakra, and 7th chakra. And of course, there are many more that keep going, actually 8, 9, 10, and keep going up. But focuses on those 7 and how we can, what needs to be done to balance each one with each other so that they're all kind of working in alignment. And finally, it briefly touches on the phi symbol, or the golden ratio. And my future books will go much more in detail about these, but to say the least, there's, the Fibonacci sequence, or the golden ratio, which all of nature, all of creation is kind of coming back to this pattern of perfection, really. It's, you can never fully reach this state because it's ever ongoing and it's constantly moving. But there's just a basic, it's an equilibrium, it's a center point that that keeps everything in perfect motion and perfect stasis, homeostasis, equilibrium. So those are a few methods for how to balance the body as you are on your spiritual path, and ways for you to think about on an energetic, spiritual level as well as a physical. And really, it's about merging the two, because we're not just physical beings, but we're also not just spiritual. We do have physical bodies. As far as in this, holographic reality, we do. So bringing those together in harmony, and you'll be amazed to find out what happens when you do. Okay, thank you very much. Peace to you.